Hey everyone, it's Systemshark bringing to you an audio commentary for WCReplays.com. This audio commentary, copyrighted 2008 WCReplays.com. It's been a long time since my last audio commentary, but I figured with the impending 1.22 patch going live, I wanted to get this one out here. And actually, I was inspired to do this audio commentary from a comment my girlfriend made yesterday when I was talking to her about the patch, because I'm obsessed with this game and I talk about video games to my girlfriend. Anyway. No, she's cool. She's into video games too, so she kind of plays along with whether she really likes to or not. Who cares? Anyway, the point she made, she actually used to play a lot of WoW. She played a lot of Warcraft 3 too, but when WoW came out, she kind of stuck with that. She doesn't play anymore. Whoa, I kind of went off on a tangent there. Anyway, her opinion with the Blizzard patch for Warcraft 3 was actually pretty, eye-opening. Her response was that with in regards to WoW, Blizzard seems to be taking the ideas of the majority and the problems that the majority of people are having, and then applying patches and making fixes and making changes and stuff to fix the majority, make the majority of people happy, as opposed to maybe the people who are at the high level of part of the game. She has a lot of experience with this because she was in a really high level guild and they were first on a lot of stuff, and a lot of the suggestions and stuff that they would have liked coming into the game, pre-Burning Crusade and even a little bit after, never happened. Instead, they kind of went the route to make everybody else happy instead of the people who are really playing the game at like a professional level or at a higher level. In regards to Warcraft 3, that's completely different. It seems like Blizzard's been taking more advice from the professional level and making patches and changes. We just got the patch notes out a little while ago, and I know a lot of people were very disappointed because a lot of the changes didn't seem very big. We were waiting for a year or more for this patch since it was announced middle of last year sometime that they were working on it, and I think we all expected a lot more changes to happen, but instead there was a lot of small things, and those small things I don't think are really going to have an impact on the average level play or the beginner level play, which is the majority of the players. Instead, these fixes are going to have a huge impact on the professional level. The thing that gets me the most, and the thing that I want to focus more on this matchup is the Night Elf and Human changes. I'll kind of go over those with a set of replays. You guys can get the first one loaded up at the 2-minute mark at 1x speed, and we'll unpause it here in a short while. Quick little intro, I guess, to the replays. I'm going to try to... I wanted to try to find replays of the same players playing against each other, but that was obviously a little bit harder to do. Instead, I found the first two replays are both going to be featuring one of my favorite American human players, Nicolarf, and he'll be... I'm probably not even saying his name right, but he'll be up against the Night Elf and on Lost Temple. Whenever anybody hears Human and Lost Temple, it's like insta-win for the most part. And that's actually pretty apparent. If you take a look at the featured replays search part on WCReplays.com, you can actually do a search for a race versus a race on a specific map and all that. And I did that for Human and Night Elf on Lost Temple, and the win ratio was at least 50% higher for Human on that map. There were 6 replays where the Night Elf beat a Human player on Lost Temple, and there were 13 replays where the Night Elf lost to the Human on Lost Temple. Now this is probably just with the most current patch, and I don't even know if all the replays are even included in that search engine or that search or not, but I mean that's a pretty interesting statistic to look at there. So obviously there was some kind of strength with that map for Human in this Human and Night Elf matchup. I mean, it goes without saying, everybody knows it, and there's a lot more to it than just that, but statistically, humans have a better time fighting Night Elf on Lost Temple than Night Elves have fighting Human. Okay, on with the replay. I'm going to try to highlight certain things that are happening in the game when they happen, and see why, if the patch was involved, what kind of outcome could have happened, or if it was even necessary at our average level or above average. I mean, Nicolarf's a professional player, so I guess that's kind of at the pro level, but American pro players are a lot different from European and Asian pro players. We can relate to American pro players more than our average players can relate to American pro players a lot better than they can, let's say, or relate to a professional European or Asian player. Anyway, Keep going off on these tangents, man. It's been a long time since I've talked, and so much stuff has happened, and I feel like I just want to go off on a rant. I didn't even really want to have replays included in this, but I figured I'd give you guys something to look at. So these replays were posted a long time ago, so you've probably seen them before. I didn't even bother to check what set they were from, but so these are from some kind of tournament, I guess I was playing. Maybe it says there. No. Anyway, we're going to unpause the replay here in 5 seconds. So if you're not at the 2-minute mark at the 1x speed, just pause this audio commentary and get that first replay synced up at the 2-minute mark at 1x speed, and we'll unpause here in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause. And while these guys are getting their beginning units and stuff set out, I just want to make a quick note about that intro song. That's obviously, if you guys have been keeping up with the You Laugh, You Lose thread, it was a really funny comic. I thought it was funny, basically probably because it had a shark in it. But it's just basically the comic shows a shark singing shark. And I don't know, some people don't really get the humor in it. It's not really supposed to be a joke or anything. It's just supposed to be kind of one of those things that are funny because they're so random. Anyway, back onto the replay. Oh, you guys should check out You Laugh, You Lose, by the way. Just whoever's posting, these really silly, dumb comics that no one really finds funny needs to stop. But try to keep the videos out of there too. I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's You Laugh, You Lose, but I guess anything goes with that kind of thing. But I don't know. I think people expected a lot more out of that thread, and it's slowly beginning to kind of downgrade. See, I read the forums, you guys. I'm there. Anyway, this is the interesting thing. Now, the fix with the patch here is supposed to. The fix is supposed to make it harder for humans to fast expand, and it might work better on other maps. This example, but basically what the change is scout tower repair rate changed from 12 to 20. Now what that means is when a scout tower is being repaired, it's not going to it's going to be harder for a human to repair it. Now that only works when it's a scout tower. Now a scout tower or tower is classified as a scout tower when it's being constructed, like it is right now, and then when it's fully constructed. As soon as the human player presses the G button or the arcane tower, make it a guard tower, make it an arcane tower. In this case, we're seeing an arcane tower. The repair rate goes back to whatever it is for an arcane tower, not for a scout tower. So that fix already, just now in just that second, completely negated. I mean, we didn't see that happen or have any influence on it at all. Right now, he's going to be attacking it. It's going to be easier to take down while it's under construction. However, experience shows Lilith C. I'm not even saying his name right. Knows that taking on a tower isn't really his goal at this point, that he wants to try to take down the peasants. So I think professional levels and average level players have kind of realized that there's different counters to the towers. It wasn't, the towers themselves are annoying, yeah. Maybe they could have gotten up and they're really hard to get up, or they weren't so hard to get up, so that kind of was a perceived imbalance that maybe should have been addressed in a different way. I lost what I was going to say here. Anyway, the basic argument that I'm having for it is that people have already learned how to deal with towers at this level of the game. It's the towers at the later levels of the game. If human were to mass towers on this map, which they do, haha. Night Elf would have an extremely difficult time of handling it, mainly because they don't really have the panda. On tavern maps, it's a little bit easier. The panda is kind of the Night Elf counter to towers for the most part. Without the panda on a map like Classic Lost Temple, Night Elf's counters to it is going to be bears, and bears are a lot harder to counter those towers, especially when they're in mass. And so I don't know. It's a different way of countering it. It's definitely more of an advantage for the human player on this map. In this matchup, and I think truly because they're able to mass the towers like that. But I think the fix that was done doesn't really help us at the average level of play. At the really high level play, we're talking like Sky, we're talking Todd, those kind of things. I could see that maybe if Moon was to try to harass Todd's towers going up, that there was an imbalance there. Maybe Todd was able to repair them too quickly, and there's no way Moon could stop it or something in the early games.